Okay guys, so in the previous two lessons we've looked at how to find the circumference of a circle, which is the special word for perimeter of a circle. We've also looked at the area of a circle. Now when we looked at the circumference of a circle, we also touched on arc length. So that's where you get part of a circle, so either a semicircle here or a quarter of a circle here, and you have to work out the length of this curved part. Now what we're going to do today is we're just going to extend on that a little bit. So you should have had practice at working out these curved parts of our semicircles, which is our arc length. We now want to find the perimeter. The perimeter, as you'll know from other two-dimensional shapes, is the whole distance around the shape. So we have found this distance here. We now need to just look at making sure we remember to add on this distance as well. So I'm going to do it in exactly the same way. Okay, I'm going to start off by working out the arc length. Now the step that I tell you to do first whenever there's a part of a circle or whenever there's a whole circle is what is our diameter and what is our radius. Our radius is 5, centre to the circumference, so our diameter must be 10 because it would go all the way to the other side of the circumference as well. Now, perimeter is the length around the outside, so we need to use the formula for the circumference of a circle, which is pi times diameter. Okay, so we are going to work out the arc length first. Okay, now to find the arc length, we're going to work out the circumference of the whole circle. Okay, if this was a full circle, let's work out the circumference of it. And then we're going to half it because we've only got half of the circle. So we've only got half of the circumference. So, half of pi times diameter because it's a semicircle. So we want half of pi times 10, which is going to be half of, and then I'm going to use the calculator to work that out. Now guys, if you don't have a calculator, a scientific calculator, hopefully you should have, but if you don't, use 3.14 as your rough approximation. So if we don't have a scientific calculator, this is going to be the approximation that you're going to use, because then you can use the calculator on your phone to do it, okay, and you'll still be able to answer these questions. So pi times 10 is going to be 31.42, okay, and we want half of this because we've only got half of the circumference, so I'm going to divide it by 2, and that's going to give me 15.71 to 2 decimal places. That's my arc length. I haven't finished yet. I also need to add on the straight part here. Okay? Now this straight part here is just the diameter, so we just need to add on the diameter, which is 10. So we add on 10 and we get 25.71, and it's a length, not an area, so it's centimetres. So just to quickly recap, guys, we work out the arc length by finding out half the circumference, and then we add on the diameter here because the perimeter is the whole way around. The arc length is just this bit, the perimeter is the whole way around, and we are asked for the perimeter for these questions. Question 2, guys, we're now given a quarter of a circle. Now, I know that this is a quarter of a circle because there's a right angle there, and a right angle is 90 degrees, 90, 180, 270, 360. There are 4 right angles in a full turn, in a full circle. Okay, so I know that that's a quarter of a circle. So, I'm going to start off by doing the same thing. Diameter is equal to, radius is equal to. Now, this would be the centre of my circle, okay, if this is a quarter of a circle. This would be the centre here, because we'd have another part there, we'd have another part here, and we'd have another part here, okay? That would be the centre. Centre to the circumference is our radius, so our radius is 4 centimetres. which means our diameter is 8 centimetres. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to work out the arc length. Now, the only difference from this is that we've got half a circle, we've got a quarter of a circle now, not half of a circle. So it's going to be a quarter of pi times diameter. So it's going to be a quarter of pi times 8. And again, I'm just going to quickly do this in the calculator. If you don't have a scientific calculator, you're going to do 3.14 times 8. I'm actually going to do pi times 8 because I've got a scientific calculator. Remember, if you're using the scientific calculator, press the SD button to get your answer from 8 pi to a decimal answer. So, we want a quarter of 25.13 to 2 decimal places. And I'm just going to divide it by 4 to find a quarter of that, which is 6.28 to 2 decimal places. That's my arc length, but I haven't finished, okay? All I've worked out at the minute is this bit here, okay? All I worked out here was that bit. The perimeter is the whole way around. So like I had to add this part on in the previous example, I need to add on both of these parts. Now, if that's the radius, that's also the radius. So that's 4 centimetres as well. So I'm going to add on this bit and this bit. So I'm going to add on 8 centimetres in total, which gives me 14.28 centimetres because it's a distance. Okay, so let me just move the sheet across so you can see the rest of that working, guys. So, for this one, arc length, add 10, is 25.71. Arc length plus 4 is 14.28. Okay, so the only extra work you're having to do, guys, is remember to add the straight lines as well as the curved part. Okay.